machines and machine artificial intelligence are becoming increasingly used in a lot of fields of endeavor. Archaeology is not any different from others. And today I'm going to present a study on the use of machine language that analyzes fossils to determine whether, basically, as my title says, whether that the ancient hominins were laid to rest ritualistically. I can't use certain words on YouTube, as you guys know. So that's it. I'll have to do sort of code. Anyway, let's get on with the article. I'm going to share the screen. And here we are. Basically, machine learning algorithms suggest ancient hominins remains not part of ritualistic laying to rest. I have if you guys want to see, as usual, I have the source. It's a PDF which you can download. It's from the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences. The link I got originally, it's also in the description, is behind a paywall, but the PDF link that I provided is not, so you can read it at your leisure. So we shall be beginning. An international team of researchers has used a machine learning algorithm to assess whether hominin bones found in caves were placed there as part of a service of interment by early human ancestors. In their paper published in the Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences, the group describes the factors that that fed into the algorithm and what it revealed. One of the defining characteristics of humans is our ability to fully understand the nature of our own mortality. Yes, we could be the only, at this point, until we discover otherwise, because elephants is a suspicion, but that's another for another time until it's proven. Anyway, we know of our own mortality, and we prepare for it. So we are all going to pass away, and we all know it. Yes, we do. But when did humans evolve to the point where it became so? Some researchers have suggested that it goes back several 100,000 years. As evidence, they claim that hominin fossils found in caves in Spain, Cima de los Huesos, and South Africa, the naledi chamber. Now, Cima de los Huesos, I've talked about it before. It spans a time period from H. antecessor, the ancestor of both us and Neanderthals and Denisovans, to modern humans. That's a beautifully preserved, just of material that came out of Cima de los Huesos. And in South Africa, the naledi chamber is H. naledi, the half-sized hominin, human species that had the small half the size, a brain half the size of ours, and that's been, I've talked about them before. They're still excavating that site, so more evidence and more data will come out from there, both from the Middle Pleistocene. They were put there by their fellow, hominins as part of a ritual service, which of course suggests a possible understanding of the finality of our lives, and the possibility of an afterlife. Not everyone agrees with that assessment, however, thus new ways to test the possibility arise periodically. It just shed some light on the debate. Well, that's basically what happens. Here you have some fossils, nice pictures of fossils. These are H. naledi from South Africa. No, that's a baboon, sorry. Side view of the baboon cranium from Miscot Cave, because they basically what they did. They used fossils and not just deposits from baboons, from us, from naledi, from other hominins, and they found they analysed the bones that were present there. They also have done experimental archaeologists have also done experiments where they laid down where they left carcasses to be consumed by the predators, and they assessed how they were dismembered, etc. They found that the members, hands, feet, or paws, feet, etc., were the ones that were easily they were crushed, etc. And that reflects on many of the sites that have been found that lack, especially of the early hominins and an early human Homo genus. The early ones say habilis, rectus, the earlier Australopithecines like Africanus afarensis, etc. They found that from predation they were missing a lot of these members, the hands, the feet, etc., smaller bones, and so on. It could also be because of the erosion that just they're easier to erode, they're easier to degrade, easier to be destroyed. But the naledi cave, they have found many of the quote-unquote missing body parts. So that is interesting. So there's just the bones intentionally were placed there intentionally, or if they arrived by some other means. Researchers used a learning algorithm, artificial intelligence, to analyze data regarding other burials. So they first collected the data from artificial experimental archaeology, from actual sites, from a hominid, which the baboon is, hominid, and primate species, more or less to show the equivalence of our Australopithecine relatives, etc. Just the size comparison and so on. And then they analyze the data. They use a computer to analyze what they found. So they programmed the algorithm to assign the sites to categories such as scavenged corpses, undisturbed humans, etc. And then they added the data to from the caves in Spain and in South Africa to see how the algorithm would characterize them. So the researchers report that the algorithm assigned both sites to scavenged corpses, which suggests that the bones were made their way there from the carrion animals, etc., for them to feed at relative pace. There is note that the algorithm did not rule out the possibility of early hominins conducted burial services in general, just in these two cases. We know that there is evidence in lieu of this machine code, machine learning program algorithm. The data that it analyzed presented that they were not deliberately put there. But it's not conclusive, that is it. I wait always for data. This is evidence that there is evidence that they were placed there deliberately, the fossils, the bones that were in those caves, especially in Spain. I also, this is my personal opinion now, it is worth it. It is worth what my personal opinion is worth. I also think that naledi also did the burials. There is a possibility that from another article that I think I've linked in the description, that maybe the hominins walked into the cave, got lost and died. That is a possibility. Of course it is. There's no denying that it is not a possibility. All the possibilities are valid until they are proven that they are correct or not. So that's a possibility. We still don't have 100%. We'll never be 100%. We still don't have enough data and evidence to prove that the lady did bury their dead. But we have just enough from other sites, from Neanderthals, which I've already mentioned in other videos, where they deliberately laid to rest the body, covered them in ochre. That is a deliberate act. So we will wait and see. Um, the article that they link to, that I have in the description, I gave you the link to the PDF that you can download. Basically, said that humans said that they know about their own mortality. The remains of multiple hominin individuals found in deep caves and underreported taphonomic circumstances have seen to discount the possibility of non-hominin actors and processes contributed to their formation. That is why I am inclined to accept that they did bury their deceased members. Another short one today. I think I'll instead of going on and on for hours and hours talking about a lot of things that are mostly waffling on. I think this format is working for me until I get really the gist of things from my mishap in March and all of March basically and basically now all of April. I have a few things planned. This time I am going to do them. I'm not going to procrastinate again. So I have a few things planned. This time I am going. So sorry for that. So until next time, I think I have a really I have got two awesome articles for another stream, and one of them is Neanderthals. Just so you guys know. I know I think I sound too repetitive in my insistence on Neanderthals, but I really love H sapiens Neanderthalensis. I really do. So stay tuned to that. And on that note, I bid you all a fond good night and good morning, good afternoon. Next time. Bye bye.